beautiful people, perverts and haters. It's Kandi. I just left the beach for sunrise. It's not very sunrisey. It's not very bright, I guess. Yeah, it's rainy and shitty and windy, really windy outside. So not much of a sunrise this morning. And I ran into my friend Nina, who I love so much. She's just the sweetest lady. And ran into her and caught up with her for probably 20 minutes or so. So it was nice getting caught up and talking about life, you know? Speaking of life, Trisha Paytas, man, yesterday. So, you know, yesterday I made my Beach Bitchin' vlog and talked about Trisha Paytas and her little Snapchat rant and Twitter. Not really rant on Twitter. She just made a couple comments on Twitter or whatever. And, you know, said we didn't understand, like didn't know her and Sean's, like, whatever, to kind of, like, whatever, but, that's all changed. It changed quickly, like, guys, I mean, by last night, like, let me tell you, within the last 24 hours between her two channels, she has posted, like, I don't want to be, like, exaggerating, but I think like 16 videos. Like, and I get that most of them are pre-recorded, and I know what she's doing. She's just getting them all up and out there so that all of that content's done and she doesn't have to look at it anymore. It's done, it's over with. She was probably reminiscing. Man, I feel for her. I feel for her. And then people are like, well, she brought it upon herself. Or like, listen, why? Because she fell in love with somebody? Because she genuinely fucking loved somebody? I don't get all of the hate you guys throw out. Like, I honestly, I mean, I do. Like, I mean, I haven't really talked about it in a while, but like I've talked about, you know, when you're miserable, when you're not happy, you do that. You know, you look to tear apart other people because anything to not focus on your own misery, you know? So that's really why all y'all hateful bitches be hating. Speaking of hateful bitches being hating, fucking Megan Tonjes. You know, I haven't followed Megan Tonjes in, like, I don't know, probably at least 6 months. Because this is what happens when people get into a movement and they feel passionate and whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They get this sanctimonious, self-righteous bitch attitude. And, you know, for her to go onto Trisha's videos and make a comment about, she's like, possibly outing somebody, we'll get to that in a minute, possibly outing somebody, like, she's getting all like that. And it's like, bitch, actually, I remember this year, actually, when she went on Twitter talking about someone who had allegedly assaulted her. I'm not, you know, saying it didn't happen because I don't know, I wasn't there, but just like she's, you know, throwing shade and judgment, hypocrisy much, it's the same kind of thing. Like, listen, so many people could have thrown shade at you and judged you, and they did, and apparently you don't remember what that feels like. And the thing is I figured out who it was. He was a married man. She made all these statements about him, and I don't know her. I've never tweeted with her. I've never spoke to her. She's too, you know, she's famous. I'm not. So nothing like that, but I figured out who the guy was simply through her going on a Twitter tirade at the company he worked for. Okay, so by process of elimination, with the facts that Megan gave, along with tweeting his company that he was starting to work for, that she found she was going to have to, like, intermingle with people that might know, like, whatever. She had a breakdown about it. I get it's a totally different case here, but you put somebody's business out there too, Tonjes, so, like, don't be like pot kettle black. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cute. So back to Trisha. If you don't know, she's been in this on again, off again tumultuous relationship with Sean Vanderwilt for a year now. And they literally just last week had, like, their 1 year anniversary. And I mean, how much of an anniversary can you really call when you've broken up 15, 20 times in a year? I mean, but I've done it too. Like I said, I'm going to actually share a couple story time videos with you real quick. Yeah, it's never really quick, but a couple story time, not videos, a couple story time scenarios, I guess, with you guys on my way home from sunrise. because I understand Trisha. And, you know, I haven't really talked in depth about Trisha a whole lot, honestly, because I was afraid of backlash. But, like, fuck you. I don't care if you think I'm whatever, because I like somebody on YouTube. Like, thank you, Peter Mon, for giving me that, like, confidence to be like, I don't care what you guys fucking... Like, I don't care if you are, like, don't like me because I like a YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like, that's a fucking stupid reason why. So, I guess I'll go to the first scenario. Different, but a little, like, okay, so it's just easier just to explain it. So, I would say over 15 years ago, I was living with a serious boyfriend, right? We didn't have a bad relationship, nothing like that. Everything was actually kind of normal. I was actually going through a bit of agoraphobia, a lot of agoraphobia, to where I couldn't leave the house, and almost felt like he was a caretaker at times, because my mental illness had, like, reclused me so hard. And I had to go to Tennessee because my sister had, she was in the hospital. I, don't really want to get into that. So she was in the hospital, and it was a serious, serious emergency, and I had to go to Tennessee. So while I was in Tennessee, I was staying at my dad's house. Me and my dad's then boyfriend were just fucking around on the internet downstairs, and I logged in through our AOL account. And I say our because it was mine and this guy's mutual AOL, because there was really no reason for us to have two AOL accounts, like the only email that I used was for my family. So I'm passing a cop, like, really, actually I'm doing the speed limit. I was about to be like, I'm really passing them, but doing the fucking speed limit, which is rare for me, to be honest. I forgot where I was. This happens. This is like how I am constantly telling stories, guys. It stresses me out. Fuck. Okay, either way, it doesn't really matter. Oh, we had a mutual AOL account with the email. So I happened to check. I didn't know jack or shit, really, at the time. Like, it was like, you know how sometimes you have an app and there's a little feature on the app or something on the app, you go like, oh, hell no, I didn't realize I could do that. Like, and you, like, a long time later, like, that's kind of where I was. Fuck you, dude. I hate when people, like, zoom up because they're so scared you're gonna get in front of them. So it was kind of like that, where, like, I had something about the trash or history. I don't know why I went into it, but I went into it and I found all these correspondence while I was out of town with different guys, like penises, like meeting up. This is the first time I learned anything about any of this, guys. I learned about bathhouses, I learned about glory holes, I learned about so many things, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? So I started, like, unraveling, like, are you even serious? Like, is this really going on? And, oh, I made the mistake. And, fuck you guys. Sorry, I'm like a crazy driver today. And so I was like, is this really fucking going on? And I was in denial, right? Like, my dad's boyfriend at the time was like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's not him. And it's like, I mean, okay, so I had made him a bracelet. Guys, this is a long time ago, okay? Don't judge me. I made him, like, a bracelet. Like, I was into crafting, because when I had the agoraphobia, therapist would tell me, like, to do things like that to try to relax me, or to get a hobby, or to try to whatever. So I had made him, like, a beaded bracelet, like we would have done in high school or whatever. And in those pictures, like, of him holding his wiener, his bracelet was, like, in the picture. So it's like, well, we can try to deny all we want, because he was sending his wiener out to people and whatever. This is like early, like, you know, you didn't send 25 pictures or a video on your phone. You had to email things, DCC things, like, whatever. So, yeah, I was in such shock. I literally couldn't deal. Like, I was literally in such shock that, like, I couldn't believe it. So, like, last night when Trisha was talking about it, because she made, oh my god, she posted, like I said, 16 videos, but she made, like, specifically 3, I think, that I know. One was, like, he cheated, it's over. That was like the first one. And then the next one was like Sean Vanderwilt exposed, and then the third one was like Sean Vanderwilt is gay. So we're gonna get into all those in just one second. But I just wanted to throw out there that, like, in the one where she's talking about, like, him being gay or whatever, like, she's literally, like, thinking about, like, she's going, like, oh, my God, this girl said he was, like, dancing, came with a guy and was dancing and kissing him, and she's like, oh, my, like, because I've been there, I know that feeling. I know, like, you're going, are you serious? Like, how did I not notice this? Like, listen, I can be the good Judy all day long, but you need to tell me that's what I am. Like, don't use me as a beard, which is what I feel Sean was doing with Trisha. Like, a lot of people think that he used her for exposure, publicity, connections. And I mean, maybe, but my gut doesn't tell me that. My gut tells me that she was a fucking beard. She was there to, like, be the cover. But then again, why would he be going publicly out to gay clubs with a guy knowing, like the girl said, okay, so let me go back and tell you what happened if you don't know. So the first video, she's like, he cheated, I'm done. It was like a 5-minute little video of her on the floor crying, or maybe, yeah, I think it doesn't matter. So she was really upset, and she basically says, last night someone sent me a snap of him dancing with this girl, and the way he was dancing with her, like, her skirt came off, and, like, it was just really kind of, like, inappropriate, and I'm heartbroken. And there's a part of you that goes, like, girl, he's just dancing. He's a dancer. He dances with girls like that and guys like that on stage all the fucking time. So let's be honest, like, he did when he went to Ellen. He picked up that girl and was, like, grinding on her Magic Mike style and shit, you know. So you know, you go like, well, I mean, whoa, that wind is so bad, it pushed my car over. You go like, well, I mean, he's a dancer, kind of like. But we don't know what their agreement or their arrangement is, you know what I mean? Like, that may be part of their deal. Like, yeah, you go out, I don't really go out, but you go out and then, like, you don't, like, disrespect me. Kind of what she had alluded to at some point, that he had never disrespected her like that. So she was really upset about this, and then people are like, well, it's just dancing. How do you know he was cheating with her? Like, whatever. And she's basically like, remember in my video yesterday, I was like, well, she literally, now she's saying from, like, well, not now, it's just now I know the time frame. She's saying from, like, 5 p.m. till, like, 2 a.m., like, she pretty much couldn't get a hold of him. Like, she called him. She had, like, a major issue she needed help with, like, needed him, not just, like, some whatever. And he wasn't there. He was out doing whatever from 5 o'clock until she went to bed at 2 a.m. and still hadn't heard from him, except for at 9 o'clock, like, hey, I'm out. Like, stop it. I'll text you or whatever, or call you when I get out, whatever. That was the first video. And then the second video is, like, outing Sean Vanderwilt, or Sean Vanderwilt exposed, and she says, like, she doesn't know, you know, what, like, she's like, I don't know him, and that, you know, she had talked about how she had 100% feelings for him. It wasn't anything, like, she fell in love with him, and she was in love with him, and how she had asked him, actually, when people were saying that he was gay when they first started dating, she had asked him, and he's like, no, I'm not gay, and that was all he had ever said. Well, she had also mentioned that, like, he's never invited her to go out with him anywhere for any appearances, and she said, and this clicked for me, actually, when she said, even for Thanksgiving dinner with his parents, he took someone else, his guy friend, and it's like, why would you take your guy friend? Unless you told your parents, like, hey, listen, he has no family, I feel bad for him, that kind of deal, you know what I mean? Like, or maybe his parents know, maybe he introduced him as a boyfriend, who fucking knows at this point? And that's really just, I mean, we speculate because we're nosy fucking bitches, right? Like, do you care about his well-being? Like, I would be shocked if we see him on the internet anytime soon. And here's why. So the third video is her coming out and saying Sean Vanderwilt is gay. And before this video had come out, I had done my research. I should have been a private investigator, but I'd done my research, and I mean, several people had done their research. You just go fucking read the comments on her videos, which I don't suggest if you're sensitive, because some people are very, very fucking rude and insensitive. But, and then she has a lot of support too, but a lot of people are very nasty. People love to see people, like, they're laughing at her video, like, it's funny to see her cry. Like, Man, you got some mental problems. You've got the mental problems worse than Trisha, actually, so fuck off. Through, like, jumping down the rabbit hole, I found out, like, the girls' Twitter, no, not Twitter, Instagram, the girls' Instagram and Snapchat, that Trisha was like, oh my God, he cheated with her. Now, her info says different. So she went on Instagram and Snapchat explaining the situation. She explained that he was just like a really highly energetic guy at the club. She was there with her girlfriend, and if you go to her Snapchat and look, you can see her walking up in the club, not now because it's been over 24 hours, but her in the car prior to going to the club, her and her girlfriend going to the club, hanging out at the club, and then you see a couple clips of her dancing with Sean, and that's really it. And then you see her come back the next day after all of this has transpired, explaining what had happened at the club. So on her Instagram and Snapchat, she explains that she was at the club with her girlfriend, and Sean was like a high energy, seemed like a fun, having a good night. He had walked in with his boyfriend, lover as she calls it, holding hands, kissing on him. And look guys, like, I've been to gay clubs. I've been to gay clubs with girls. I dated girls. So, two girls walk into a gay club and see two guys in a gay club come in. And one of the guys who's been making out with his boyfriend, you're dancing, he comes over and starts dancing with you and high-vibing with you. You're not trying to, like, hit it. You don't think it's anything but some fucking fun, drunk dancing, okay? So this is what this girl's getting at. She's like, I didn't think anything about it. Like, I would have never danced with a straight guy like that. Like, obviously, I didn't think he was straight. He was, like, kissing on his lover and whatever. So, you know, he's gay, is what the girl was saying. So she says she has videos of actually him and of Sean and Sean's lover. She says she has videos and proof, and that she sent them to Trisha, that she's not going to put it on the internet, but she sent it to Trisha because she feels like Trisha should know. And like she said, either he was trying to get outed, because why is he in this poppin' gay club knowing his girlfriend has over 1 million subscribers? Like, the girl's like, that's whack. Like, he had to be trying to get caught, because who wouldn't? And, you know, when you see him dancing on the video, now granted he's got to put on face, but like his personality even seemed a little bit more flamboyant, I guess, which is, I don't know if that's wrong to say, I don't know, but it seemed more like, I don't know how to explain it, like, I guess unless you've been to gay clubs, like, I don't know. And as far as, like, everybody being like, oh my God, I told you, he totally looks gay, like, how do you look at somebody until they look gay? I understand what you're saying, because when I was an ignorant fucking idiot, I did those stereotypes too. Even my dad did those stereotypes, which is really funny because my dad's gay. Most people have no clue because he's like manly and whatever. And I know gay guys that are very flamboyant. I know straight guys that are actually flamboyant, or whatever you want to call that. I don't know if that's like a taboo word now. I don't know. 20 years ago when I was going to gay clubs, that wasn't. But everything has changed. So I know straight men that are fucking burly as fuck, and I know gay men that are burly as fuck. So looking at somebody and being like, oh, they look gay, so they gotta be gay, girl. Like, you just can't go by that, guys. You cannot go by that, and it's ignorant to even say some shit like that. So my second kind of story time video, even though I'm pretty much home, I'll sit in the car and finish filming this, but my second kind of story time video is about my relationship that reminds me so much of Trisha and Sean's relationship. I was in a very toxic relationship at her age, funny enough, and a lot of the same thing happened, except for he wasn't outed at a gay bar, or he wasn't, caught at a gay bar kind of thing. I caught him at swingers clubs. So that's where I would catch him instead, was that I would have people send me messages that he was at swingers clubs. Like, literally, these swingers clubs down here, you can literally pay to pretty much fuck in a room and have somebody watch you, or not just somebody, hell, you can have a whole audience. So he would do things like that, or whatever. And it was humiliating. You felt so fucking stupid because you believed in them so much. You defended them no matter what. Like, yeah, mine and his relationship was tumultuous. Like, we were constantly back and forth arguing. We broke up every, like, when we first started dating, let's say, like, it took 6 weeks to break up the first time, and then 4 weeks the second time, but then it got to where it was literally, like, every fucking other week or every week, and then, like, he would move out with whatever bitch he was fucking on the side, and then that wouldn't work out in 3 days. He would, I need to come back, I love you, I miss you, da, da. I would do it, because it's really, really hard when you love somebody or obsessed with somebody. I don't really know if it's love or obsession, honestly, to be, like, real. It's really hard to let that go. I can't explain that, but it's really fucking hard. Like, it's, unless you've been through that and you've felt unwanted, unaccepted, all of that, all of your life, like, I get it, you know, my family doesn't like me. I've always been the black sheep in my family. I talk about this so much, and I always feel like nobody, even friends, even now, even this year, I have ranted so much about people, like, not giving a fuck, you know, when you're crying like that. When we were watching Trisha, well, I was watching Trisha's videos like that, Pete was kind of playing games on his cell phone or whatever, and, like, a couple times he would make little comments, and he's like, I mean, she's crying saying there's nobody, and Pete's like, well, she's actually right. Like, how many times have you been, like, just sobbing like that, and you feel like you have nobody? And, like, people go like, well, what about him? It's like, let me tell you guys, a relationship, and I have a wonderful relationship, not that I need to be like toot, or not that I need to, like, justify whatever, but I'm just explaining. I have mental illness. I feel alone a lot of times, and I have an amazing, attentive husband. Like, literally, I never thought I could ever get this in a relationship. I always thought relationships were going to be like Sean and Trisha, because that's what I was kind of used to. So when you're used to that, it's very hard to break the cycle. It took me 3 years of being alone after the ex and I broke up. 3 years of, like, not getting serious, and it was so hard. Even a couple guys, like, I tried, like, I fought it, and they do the whole, like, oh, let me love you, and then they fuck you, and then they fucked you. I had 2 guys in that whole 3 years fuck me. Not that I, like, dated them, like, I don't mean, like, physically fuck me, I'm talking about mentally, emotionally fuck me. Not that, like, we were being exclusive or anything, but, like, you know, I wanted it, and I was trying for it, and I just let them use me, you know, I just let them use me for sex or for someone to hang out with and nobody else to hang out with, because, like, I was lonely and I was partying a lot and I did a lot of drugs, and I won't take any of it back, because if I hadn't done all that, I still might have stayed with him and still done. I mean, this guy still contacts me from time to time, and I don't think it's for any other reason. I really don't think he's trying. He doesn't even live in the same state as me anymore, but he still contacts me, and I get it. Like, sometimes I look up on some of my exes that, like, I feel like I might have fucked over or whatever, just to see how they're doing, and they don't want to have anything to do with me. Not that, like, I mean, I haven't reached out in the last 10 years to any of them, but, I mean, I understand, so I try. I'm not, like, I just, silence is golden, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, really correspond or respond, but you never know what would have happened if I hadn't taken those 3 years for myself to, like, do myself and feel myself and find myself. And then when I met Pete, like, literally, like, no joke, when I met Pete, where I was so hardened to all of it, because I was, and the only way to protect myself was to, like, not fuck with dudes, was, I mean, not, like, get serious, you know what I mean? And when I first met Pete, like, I had no interest, like, at all. Like, he had messaged me up on MySpace, actually. And what's really ironic and funny is that day I had moved, like, a week or two before that to, like, the area, and that day I had switched that I'd moved to that area, and, you know, Pete has never reached out like that to anybody else except for me on the internet that day, weird enough. And I don't know, we talked for a couple weeks online or whatever, and he kept trying to, like, come hang out. I was like, yeah, he's probably just trying to fuck. Like, nope, not happening, girl, not happening. And I was like, we can smoke, that's cool, like, whatever. So he came over and hung out, and, like, over a month went by before, I mean, he never tried to, like, not that he wasn't attracted, because people are like, oh, okay, like, haters, like, okay, well, it wasn't like that. It was just that he was respectful and kind, and at first I was like, yeah, okay, no, this guy's too nice. But I found myself, like, even in the beginning of our relationship, though, you know, he had a lot of shit to eat, like, because I was so still broken and torn apart. So it takes a long time to get over that stuff, and man, I don't know. I remember being, I remember with my ex being suicidal. I mean, I ended up being Baker acted for slitting my wrists. The only good thing about that is they made me go to an outpatient treatment facility after however long I stayed in. I forgot how long I was inpatient. But after that, they had me stay outpatient. I had to do outpatient for like 6 months or I would go to jail for like self-harm like that. But I literally was forced to either go to a 6-month outpatient treatment program or I had to go to jail. So I chose, obviously, the outpatient treatment program. And it actually, I feel like, helped save my life. And it's not that like my ex and I weren't together through it, because we were. He would drop me off at treatment, probably go fuck a bitch, and then come pick me up later. And I mean, there were times he wasn't even there to pick me up. I remember I had to have someone take me home one time. Definitely. Anyhow, that treatment program taught me a lot, guys. It taught me how to handle a lot of things. It taught me things I didn't even know existed. Like, I'd heard, and everybody joked about AA when we were kids or whatever. I didn't understand what meetings were. In that treatment program, we were required to go to meetings so many times a week, and I went to CA, Codependent Anonymous groups, because I was very codependent on like relationships like that, and so is Trisha. You need that. You need to be needed. You need to be wanted. It's codependent. It's sickening. And I was very codependent, and the book Codependent No More by Melody Beattie changed my fucking life and my outlook in general. I recommend that to anybody that's in some sort of situation like that. And I don't mean just relationship. I'm talking about friendships or family ties, things like that. Like, go read that book, because it will forever. And I'm not a reader, guys. I don't read very often. So that book changed my fucking life. And yeah, oh my God, there were so many story times in that. I don't know. I wish I could play my life for the last 15 years, pretty much. Just like a big fucking, God, that'd be the longest movie ever. But like, just show people that like where I came from. And yeah, I still have meltdowns. And yeah, I still have depressed days. It's part of it. Yeah, I still go through shit. But at the end of the day, like, that stuff, like, I know it hurts, but I also know that it gets better if you want it to. And if you try, you don't have to try really hard. I don't know how to explain it. You have to cut it off and like walk away. The words that changed my life in that relationship for me to walk away, because even after that whole treatment program, guys, and whatever, I stayed with him, and then it was just crazy for months and months later. Even probably 6 months later after that, I still stayed with him. Well, yeah, because I had completed the whole treatment, and then even after that, so we had broken up. He was living with another girl, still calling me, whatever, and we had been through some crazy things. And I was just sitting in my car crying one day and listening to Beyonce, actually. And I was a punk rock girl then, but like, I had just listened, and not that I hadn't heard Irreplaceable 1,000 times, because I had, but there was just a part in it where she says, so since I'm not your everything, how about I'll be nothing at all to you? And that moment sealed the deal for me. I can't explain what did that for me, but it made so much sense. Like, I need to be your everything. And that's not being too needy, or that's not being whatever. When I am your partner, I need to be your everything. And you're my everything, and I don't think that's obsession. I think, like, Pete and I, it's not like he can't go do something, or not that I go to Sunrise by myself most of the time because he doesn't like to get up early. Doesn't make me a bad person for not wanting to lay in bed until 9 o'clock, or doesn't make him a bad person for not wanting to get up and go with me. We can have our own things that we like to do. But at the end of the day, yesterday we were going to someone's house, and he's like, yeah, I don't really like to hang out. There's nothing against him or nothing like that, but like, after work, for example, if I have the opportunity to go hang out with him for, say, like an hour and play video games or talk or do whatever, I would rather be home with you and the dogs, hanging out and talking and doing that, because you're my partner. You're the person that I chose. And this is 8 years later. It's not like we're so sick of each other we don't want to get away. We want to get away from each other. Like, we want to spend time together. And I don't mean unhealthily up each other's ass all the time, but I mean, like, I feel like that's what real love is. That's what love is. And people that saying relationships are so hard, I mean, there are people that say that, and I get you feel that way, but I personally feel relationships aren't that hard. I feel like if we all just live and let live and accept that we're all different, and some people you mesh with and some people you don't. Some people you're meant to hang out with for a little bit of time to teach you something, and that's all they're meant to be there in your life for. And that's what I feel like Sean was for Trisha. I do feel like he genuinely cared about her as much as he could. I don't want to say Sean is gay. He could be bisexual. I mean, obviously, if they were having sex, or she could have been a cover or whatever, but that's really none of our business. You know, his sexuality or whatever is none of our business. Even him lying to Trisha is none of our business, okay? They have their own thing, and yes, they put it out on the internet and whatever, but we watch it for entertainment, or we watch it to divert from our own fucked up lives, or whatever it is. But you should be a little bit more compassionate and understanding and accepting in the fact that you don't know everything that's went on between them. There is the possibility that this is all for show and ratings and views, and fuck, she deserves a fucking Oscar. That is a possibility. I don't personally believe that, but I'm not also so naive to believe that that's not a possibility. I think Sean opened up possibilities for Trisha that she never thought were possible, dating younger guys. I feel like she always felt like not worthy to date a hot, young, good-looking guy. And I know Sean, people's like, he's not young, he's like almost 40. Well, I mean, to me, she usually dates like the older the better. So for her, that's probably the youngest guy she's ever dated. I feel he also opened her up to, I mean, like she said, she'd never been to a club until this year. She just had never been. I'm sure it's anxiety-ridden. She says, like, not really for her. Sean got her into dancing and doing things that she loves like that she never thought she would enjoy. So the year with Sean was not wasted. She learned a lot. She learned a lot about herself, and she can take that and move on and stop obsessing over this, because this guy, like, we've all heard that he's just not that into you. It's really kind of like that. And I understand that she's not going to be able to be his good Judy. Like, she has too many feelings for him. So she has to, like, move on. And sitting and worrying about if he's going to text you or call you or obsessing over it is the worst feeling in the world. I've been there. It's the worst feeling in the world. And I wish nothing but love and happiness for Trisha, because we all deserve that. Every single one of us deserve that. So that's it for today, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, be nice to each other, because remember, nobody likes a fucking asshole.